This is Pops. Remember when DC Comics, it was leaked that they had an interview process with someone and they were asking about Batman's white privilege, Bruce Wayne's white privilege, and that was kind of a thing. Here's another insider revealing more of that Dan Didio era destruction of DC Comics here, talking about how they wanted a black Batman to permanently replace Bruce Wayne. So yeah, this is about in the comics. They have it. They're reflecting on the replacement of the iconic characters, and then it was from Future State, and then of course the 5G initiative plan, originally meant to be a glimpse into the alternate future, but instead it was like a complete reboot. So this is back when Dan Didio was there, right? So the most shocking proposal, according to an industry insider present at the 5G Initiative Summit, was to turn Lucius Fox into Batman and have an ongoing Batman title featuring the black lead instead of Bruce Wayne. So just imagine that, right? Just imagine that we have a title like Batman, the best selling DC comic, possibly, most likely, the only one that sells in six figures right now, and definitely the best selling of the DC titles. We're going to just ditch Bruce Wayne completely and try that. So, race swapping the beloved character because of Black Lives Matter and other diversity line moves. The insider who spoke about it in the comics under the condition of anonymity, which again, come on, guys, give a nickname, give him a cool nickname. Don't you guys remember back in the day we did journalism stuff and it was like Deep Throat and all that stuff that was, yeah, give him a nickname, man. Anyway, this was a presentation. Didio is very stressed at this meeting. The source stated Didio had excited about new initiatives in the past, but the 5G situation felt much more like it was being forced upon him. Now, this has been things like this have been talked about before, how Dan was being confronted by people in the audience at different events, different things like that, that have kind of asked him about, when are you going to put a woman in charge? Or when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And that kind of thing. So, anyway, it just kind of goes through a little bit more of that kind of detail. Here's the future state thing. Okay, now the proposal to replace Bruce Wayne as Batman with a black character was met with grumbles from the retail sector of the meeting. So again, the Dio's just virtue signaling, and the retailers are like, "Are you out of your bloody mind?" So one of the retailers allegedly said point blank, he should prepare for Batman sales to drop to a third of the book's then current levels. The reality of the situation is when readers read Batman as a title, they expect to see Bruce Wayne. Okay. So DC did follow up with the plan with Future State, the next Batman. The Batman replacement was Tim Fox. Poor reviews, both fans and critics, did not last long. DC changed directions. So they ultimately kind of like litmus test this over on their Future State little thing, and it was a complete disaster. It completely failed. DC had to steer back from it. But imagine how bad that would have been had that been on the main title. That's what they were trying to do. The article, here's the Future State cover. I've never read it. I heard it was just dog crap, so I never wasted my time on it. Maybe you guys will tell me I'm wrong, but both Marvel and DC seem obsessed with trying to replace their iconic characters with new, diverse skin suits. Wow, John! Oh my God, Marvel's done it. That Miles Morales has started that trend, right? So this is definitely some of the stuff here. Here's the Miles thing in here. Whether forced diversity comes from corporate management or from newer generation of writers who are obsessed with destroying iconic characters, every time it's tried, it fails spectacularly. There's a danger to retailers beyond simply losing sales on one book as well. When people go to a comic shop to buy a Batman book, they don't often keep coming back and returning to try out different books just because they stop buying Batman. That's true. If I And actually, to be honest, one of the biggest things for me, especially, was the habit of doing it, going every week, going on this payday, going to this show if or show or store if I was in a certain area of town, things like that. Like there was like routines and events associated with doing things. And once you break that habit, they don't come back. Comic readers are devoted to the characters they follow. And more often than not, they'll stop coming to the shop altogether if they're given a reason to quit. This attrition of readers has been plaguing the industry for a long time, as a herald of great problems ahead for the future state of comics, which is 100% true, right? You change Spider-Man, you change Batman, you change. I mean, the X-Men are unrecognizable. Like if you are a fan of 1990s X-Men, please, for the love of Pete, do not even try to pick up a book and get involved. You won't even recognize who these characters are, let alone what their power sets are and their designs. It's insane. So there you go. It was that close, guys. It was that close. It just somehow, some way, this almost become the mainstream Batman. It become that close, according to this insider, which corresponds to the other conversations and other things that have happened from whistleblowers, other insiders, and the trend in the industry and the market. It's not as though this would be that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. We ended up with, Valzad and Miles Morales and things like that that have been mainstreamed in as a replacement or a surrogate thereof of the main thing that most people knew for history of decades. One thing has been tied, and this is the thing about Black Batman. Fine, again, you tried it, future state, which is the appropriate way to do this. You come up with an angle, you come up with a mini series, you come up with something to see if readers will like it or not. And maybe you can try again in a couple of years. I don't know. But oh my gosh, I cannot imagine the thought of how bad it would have gone. Anyway, that's my take on it. Love your guys' thoughts. It's we dodged a bullet in this story, according to the insider that talked to Bounding. So anyway, take care, everybody. Talk to you guys soon.